Many of us think we are harmlessly singing along to our favorite songs in church or at home. But what if I told you that some of the songs you hum every day carry hidden messages? Messages that can invite darkness into your life without you even knowing. Today I'm going to reveal 12 famous songs that Christians unknowingly sing, songs that mask demonic influence under the guise of melody and rhythm. Stay close, because your spiritual awareness is about to be tested. What you hear may shock you, and what you continue to sing could change your life forever. Have you ever stopped to listen carefully to the words of the songs you sing every day? At first, they may seem innocent, fun, or even inspiring. You might think, it's just music, it's harmless. But I want you to understand something crucial. Words have power. Every syllable, every phrase carries energy, and repeated exposure to certain words can slowly shape your mind, your heart, and even your spirit. Many popular songs that Christians hum along to every week contain lyrics that are far from innocent. They glorify rebellion, pride, lust, or subtle forms of darkness that can sneak into your life without warning. You sing them with joy, believing you are partaking in harmless entertainment or even worship. But the truth is, some songs are designed to influence your thoughts and your choices in ways you may never see coming. It starts small. A word here, a phrase there. You might hear lyrics about chasing desires at any cost, seeking personal freedom without boundaries, or rejecting authority. At first it feels exciting, even empowering. But these are not neutral messages. They work quietly, shaping your mindset, softening your discernment, and opening doors to spiritual influences that are not of God. Think of it like planting seeds. A seed sown in darkness may not bloom immediately, but over time it grows strong roots. Repeating certain words and themes in music can plant those same seeds in your heart. The danger is often masked. Many of these songs sound catchy, appealing, even uplifting on the surface. The beats and melodies make you move. They make you feel alive. They make you want to sing along. That is part of their power. They draw you in, and while your body is moving to the rhythm, your spirit may be quietly absorbing messages that contradict God's truth. Some songs subtly normalize rebellion against authority, sensuality disconnected from love, or even spiritual emptiness. You might not even realize it, but your mind begins to accept these ideas as normal, as harmless fun, as something everyone does. This is why spiritual vigilance is so important. You cannot afford to assume that music is just entertainment. You must listen, truly listen, with the awareness that words are not neutral. They shape your desires, your attitudes, and the path you walk in life. A song may seem sweet or exciting, but if its words glorify anything contrary to God's ways, it is carrying a subtle influence that can harm your faith. Christians often underestimate the power of repeated exposure. Singing these songs week after week, month after month, can open channels to thoughts and behaviors that feel normal but are spiritually dangerous. So the question you must ask yourself is simple. What am I allowing into my heart when I sing these words? Are they building my faith and drawing me closer to God? Or are they planting seeds that will lead me away from Him? Awareness is the first step toward protection. Once you see the hidden messages, you gain the power to choose carefully what you allow your spirit to dwell on. Every word you sing is an invitation. Make sure you are inviting what is holy, not what is harmful. Music is not just sound, it is a force that moves both the mind and the spirit. Many people think that because a song is popular or because it makes them feel good, it is harmless. But you must understand something. Music carries energy, and that energy can be aligned either with light or darkness. There are songs that Christians sing unknowingly that carry rhythms, melodies, or harmonies that are not neutral. They may seem joyful, inspiring, or even worshipful on the surface, but they have the power to open spiritual doors, doors that can invite influences that are not from God. This is not superstition, it is spiritual reality. Every note, every beat, every carefully chosen phrase resonates with more than just your ears. It resonates with your soul. You see, when you repeatedly sing a song, your spirit begins to attune to the messages it carries. Even if the words are subtle, even if the influence is hidden behind a catchy beat, there is a spiritual effect taking place. Some songs glorify rebellion, lust, or pride without ever saying it outright. Others glorify a worldview that places the self above God. These are not coincidences. They are carefully crafted messages designed to move hearts and influence behavior. And the danger is that Christians often participate in this unknowingly, thinking they are simply enjoying music or expressing joy. Spiritual doors do not open visibly. They do not slam wide open with a warning sign. They open quietly, slowly, and almost imperceptibly. One moment, a song feels harmless. The next, the messages have begun to shape your thoughts, your desires, and even your decisions. Music can act as a bridge between the natural and the spiritual, and if the energy in that music is aligned with darkness, it can create a pathway for demonic influence to slip into your life. That is why discernment is crucial. You cannot just assume that your heart or your intentions will protect you. God has given us tools to discern, but we must use them. The first step is awareness. Listen carefully to what you are singing. Don't just hum along or enjoy the beat. Pay attention to the lyrics, the energy, and the overall message. Ask yourself, does this align with God's truth? Does this glorify Him? Or does it glorify something contrary to His ways? The moment you begin to see the spiritual effects of music, you gain the power to protect yourself. You begin to choose songs that uplift, inspire, and strengthen your faith, instead of unknowingly opening doors to darkness. Music is a gift, a powerful tool, but with power comes responsibility. Christians must guard their hearts and their spirits carefully. Every song is a choice. Every note is a potential doorway. Protect your soul by understanding the energy you allow into it. The songs you sing are not just entertainment, they are invitations. Make sure your invitations lead to God, not away from Him. Not every song that sounds uplifting is truly safe for your spirit. Many Christians assume that if the melody is beautiful, if the lyrics seem positive, or if the rhythm makes them feel happy, then the song is harmless. But the reality is far deeper than surface appearances. Some songs are carefully masked as positivity, as encouragement, or as hope, while beneath the surface, they carry subtle messages that can lead a soul away from God. They hide their influence in the emotions they stir, in the imagery they evoke, and in the ideas they normalize. These songs are like wolves in sheep's clothing. They sound good, but their effect is dangerous. A song can tell a story of love, freedom, or personal empowerment, and on the surface, it may seem inspiring. You sing along, you feel joy, you share it with friends, and everything feels normal. But hidden within those words and melodies can be ideas that contradict God's will. Some glorify self-centeredness, others romanticize behaviors that are sinful, and some subtly normalize rebellion against spiritual principles. Over time, repeated exposure to these messages can shift your understanding of right and wrong, of good and evil, without you even noticing. You may not feel any immediate danger, and that is precisely the problem. The influence works quietly, gradually, shaping attitudes, thoughts, and desires from the inside out. Christians often underestimate how effective these subtle messages can be. A single lyric may seem harmless, but repeated over days, weeks, and months, it becomes a pattern. It begins to feel normal. It begins to resonate with your emotions. And before you know it, your soul has started absorbing ideas that weaken your faith, cloud your judgment, and distort your spiritual focus. The danger is not always blatant. It's not always screaming in your face. Often, it is wrapped in words that make you feel good, in melodies that bring comfort, and in rhythms that make you want to move. That is why awareness and discernment are crucial. The question every Christian must ask is, am I truly aware of the messages I am internalizing? Do I pay attention to the themes behind the songs I sing, or do I let myself be carried away by the rhythm and the emotion? Music is not just entertainment, it is influence. And influence can be either positive or negative, life-giving or soul-diminishing. Choosing songs blindly, without understanding the hidden messages, is like opening a door without checking what is on the other side. The path to spiritual safety is awareness. Begin to listen deeply, beyond the melody, beyond the rhythm. Understand the lyrics and the messages they convey. Ask yourself whether they build your faith or erode it, whether they glorify God or glorify something that opposes His truth. The moment you begin to see the hidden dangers masked as positivity, you take control of what you allow to enter your heart. Music can lift your soul, it can inspire your spirit, but only if you choose wisely. Not every song that seems uplifting is truly safe. We must pay special attention to the influence these songs have on young believers and vulnerable hearts. Children, teenagers, and even new Christians are particularly susceptible because their spiritual defenses are still developing. They are learning how to navigate faith, morality, and the world around them, and their hearts are open, eager, and impressionable. When a song carries messages that glorify rebellion, lust, pride, or selfish ambition, even if it's hidden behind a catchy tune or beautiful melody, it can leave a mark that is hard to remove. These messages plant ideas and habits that may feel normal or exciting at first, but over time, they can pull the heart away from God without the person even realizing it. You may think, it's just a song, it can't hurt them. But the reality is far more serious. Music is a powerful form of influence, far stronger than most people understand. When someone repeatedly listens to or sings a song, their mind starts to absorb not only the words but the spirit behind the words. A young person humming along may internalize attitudes about desire, freedom, or authority that conflict with God's truth. They might begin to accept behaviors as harmless that God clearly warns against. And because these messages are subtle, they often go unnoticed until patterns have already formed. Even adults are not immune, but the danger is heightened in the young because habits and perceptions are still forming. A teenager or a new believer does not yet have the full discernment to filter messages carefully. They are still learning what aligns with God's will and what does not. Every song they hear repeatedly is a lesson, whether intended or not. If the song carries hidden darkness, they are being taught something contrary to faith. If it carries God's truth, it strengthens their spirit. The choice of what fills the heart and mind matters more than many realize. This is why awareness and guidance are critical. Parents, mentors, and leaders in the church must take responsibility to help protect the young from spiritual influence hidden in music. Christians must learn to listen carefully to what is being sung in schools, in homes, and even in church gatherings. Repeated exposure to harmful messages can erode faith and spiritual vigilance, sometimes in ways that are subtle and gradual. By recognizing the danger early, young believers can be taught to develop discernment and to choose music that strengthens rather than weakens their faith. The message is simple but urgent. Spiritual vulnerability is real, and music is a channel of influence that must not be ignored. Protecting young hearts is not about fear. It is about awareness. Every song they sing, every melody they embrace, can either build spiritual armor or leave them exposed. The choices made in youth often shape the spiritual trajectory of a lifetime. Do not underestimate the power of influence carried through music, and do not allow innocent-looking songs to quietly lead hearts away from God. Awareness and discernment are not just spiritual concepts, they are survival tools in a world where influence comes disguised as entertainment. Many Christians sing songs every day without realizing that the lyrics and melodies they embrace carry messages that shape their minds, hearts, and spirits. Awareness is the first step. You cannot protect what you do not recognize. You must learn to listen with intention, to analyze the words, and to feel the energy behind the music. Discernment is about separating what builds your spirit from what erodes it, about understanding that not everything that sounds good is good for your soul. When you develop spiritual discernment, you gain clarity. You begin to see patterns in the music you consume. Certain themes, repeated over time, reveal a hidden agenda. Messages that glorify pride, lust, materialism, rebellion, or spiritual emptiness. You begin to recognize the subtle ways these songs can influence your thoughts, even when you think you are singing innocently. Without discernment, it is easy to absorb these messages unknowingly, and the effect is gradual but powerful. Your faith can be weakened, your spiritual defenses lowered, and your heart moved toward values that are not aligned with God's truth. Discernment is also about choice. Once you see the hidden dangers, you have the power to act. You can decide what enters your heart and mind. You can choose songs that inspire faith, strengthen character, and honor God. This is not about rejecting music entirely. It is about filtering, selecting, and using your spiritual awareness to guide your actions. Music is a tool. It can be a weapon of influence, or it can be a channel for God's truth. The difference lies in your awareness and the decisions you make. Developing discernment takes practice. Start small by examining the lyrics of the songs you sing most often. Ask yourself, does this message glorify God, or does it glorify something that opposes His truth? Look beyond the melody and the rhythm. Consider the long-term effect these words may have on your thoughts, emotions, and spiritual focus. Do not be deceived by surface appearances. Many songs that sound positive on the outside carry hidden messages that quietly shape your worldview. Awareness allows you to make informed choices, to protect your mind and spirit, and to avoid subtle influences that lead away from God. Awareness without action is not enough, and action without awareness is blind. That is why discernment is a daily practice. Be intentional about what you sing, what you listen to, and what you allow to dwell in your heart. Encourage others to do the same. When a Christian develops awareness and discernment, they are no longer passive participants in the cultural currents. They become guardians of their own faith. They begin to recognize spiritual dangers before they take root, and they replace harmful influences with messages that nurture faith, joy, and holiness. Your spirit deserves protection. Awareness and discernment are your armor. Without them, music can shape you without your consent. With them, every note, every lyric, and every song becomes an opportunity to grow closer to God, to strengthen your faith, and to walk in truth. The solution is not fear, it is action. Once you understand the danger hidden in certain songs, the next step is to replace them with music that uplifts the soul, glorifies God, and strengthens your faith. You cannot simply avoid harmful songs without filling that space with something better. Your heart is like soil. Whatever you sow will grow. If you sow negativity, pride, or rebellion through the words and melodies you listen to, that is what will take root. But if you deliberately choose songs that inspire holiness, faith, and love, your spirit will be nourished, your faith fortified, and your heart aligned with God. Replacing harmful music with spirit-filled worship is more than a spiritual exercise. It is a daily decision. Each song you sing, each melody you hum, becomes a declaration of your priorities. It is an act of spiritual alignment. When you fill your home, your car, and your personal moments with music that praises God, that speaks truth, that inspires hope, you are consciously inviting the Holy Spirit to dwell in your life. You are actively rejecting influences that carry darkness, and you are creating an environment where your faith can flourish. This is not always easy. Many harmful songs are deeply ingrained in popular culture, in social circles, or even in church settings. They are catchy, they are praised, they are everywhere. But you must choose your spiritual diet carefully. Just as you would not feed your body poison, do not feed your spirit messages that contradict God's truth. Seek out music that reinforces your beliefs, that encourages holiness, that uplifts your mind and heart. Surround yourself with songs that remind you of God's power, His love, and His guidance. It is also important to teach this practice to others. Children, youth, and even fellow believers often follow the crowd without realizing the hidden effects of music. By modeling discernment and intentionally choosing songs that honor God, you not only protect your own spirit, but also influence others to do the same. You create a ripple effect where music becomes a tool for spiritual growth rather than a vehicle for hidden danger. Every song you introduce, every melody you share, is an opportunity to bring light rather than darkness. Do not underestimate the power of consistent, spirit-filled worship. It builds resilience, strengthens faith, and creates a heart that is less susceptible to hidden influences. When you consciously replace harmful songs with those that glorify God, you are not just avoiding danger, you are actively inviting blessings. You are choosing a path of protection, alignment, and spiritual vitality. Music is a powerful force. Use it wisely. Let every note, every lyric, and every song be a source of life, not a doorway to darkness. Your choice matters. The songs you sing daily are not just entertainment, they are shaping your spirit. Choose carefully, sing with awareness, and fill your life with music that honors God. Let your worship be your armor, your joy, and your shield against hidden dangers.